Grow a garden and learn to cook.
Yep.
There's the moral to the story. Post-dinner dishes. Try not to look so serious. Good evening, beautiful people. It has been one of those days that we have not picked up the camera until the very end of the day. It happens. What we're planning on doing today is we're gonna go wrangle our garlic.
Wrangle.
We're gonna go down to the barn. We'll bring you along with us. We'll show you what we're doing. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, why don't you leave those carabiners in here? Okay, let's go.
Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you.
So let's go, Mom.
I put them on. Hold on. Super fashion socks.
Okay, at least they're not clogs.
Do what I can.
Total mom life. Why are mom's scissors in the barn?
I don't know why mom's scissors are in the barn, and I'm just gonna ignore the fact that my scissors are in the barn, and we'll just get them, and I will not make a big deal about the fact that my scissors are in the barn.
What do you want to bet someone used them to cut something like wire?
I will.
Oh my Lanta. They took the Weiss?
Yes!
The good scissors.
My scissors.
It's alright, I can sharpen them again.
Okay.
So, just because people are going to ask.
No.
There's some bow making going on in here.
Oh, is that what they're making?
Yeah, so they've been up all day. I should have filmed that this morning. It's kind of cool. We have, you see the kitty.
Happy kitty.
There's the kitty. The kitty's happy that we're here. I have a tree that is too full of metal to mill up. It's a big oak tree. I know oak doesn't make the best bows, but they want to try, so that's what we're doing. So I've been splitting up this great big tree trunk. They're making staves, and they're going to try their hand at bow making. So, hey, let there be light. All right, so you want to explain what exactly we're doing?
All right, so this is our garlic that we harvested about 2 weeks ago, and we've let it cure for 2 weeks, and now it's ready. So we're going to trim up the bottoms, get it all cleaned up, trim off the tops, and just get it ready for storage.
Which is very exciting. Like
yeah.
having those little wire rack things in the kitchen,
yeah.
Having those all full of our garlic is a really cool concept.
Yes. So we will probably set aside like the bigger ones for seed for next year.
I'm cool with that.
And then,
But realizing like the amount of garlic we eat in a year, basically all of this needs to be seed. We need to sow like 10,000 heads of garlic to even come close to how much garlic we like to consume.
Yeah.
We like spicy food. We like garlic. Ain't no vampires coming around here.
That's the truth.
Let's make a mess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, these are cleaned up quite nicely. All right, just so people can see, you want to do a whole one? That one.
All right, so trim the roots off down to nubbies. Chop the head about an inch or so. And then I just take the outer layer of paper off just to get the dirt.
So they look all nice and clean and presentable.
Yeah. Okay, outer layer or two.
Just enough to get the dirt off.
Yeah. Yep, nothing crazy. So I'm not bringing a bunch of dirt in my kitchen.
I mean, there's already a bunch of dirt in the kitchen anyways, but...
At least this looks pretty. There we go.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
It's coming along quickly.
It is.
It sure is a awful nice tray.
Okay, so a bunch of y'all have asked me about these trays. These are actually my soap drying racks. So I've bought these for soap. They hold soap great. They work amazingly for soap. I like them because they're vented and they're wide. So for produce, they're actually fantastic. Now, I will say my one complaint is they're not very
tall.
Deep. Yeah, I wish these cutouts weren't here for produce. They are marketed for soap and they're priced for soap. They're not priced for produce. So they're actually $30 a piece. I get them from soapequipment.com. So for anybody who actually wants to get these specific trays, they're about $30 a piece. I did look up ones from Uline. They're a little bit smaller, but they're like the ventilated, produce boxes, and they're deeper. They're like half the price. So just so y'all know, if you're looking for cheaper options.
Yeah, you don't have to use hoity-toity soap drying racks.
It's just, this is what I have already.
Yeah. And they're currently not being used, and so it was like, hey, let's stick potatoes in them.
They work great.
You want to talk about what we got?
Yeah. Alright, so these are all our good keepers that have no signs of damage or moisture or anything like that.
Which they are all butamus.
They are butamus, and I'm guessing that's probably about 3 to 5 pounds.
That's awesome.
Estimating. These are ones that still feel ever so slightly moist, and we peeled a few and we got those giant ones.
Unicorn.
Yeah.
That one we can cut in half.
Yeah, it's got some pest damage, but we can use it. So we will use these first. Like, I'll take them inside.
I mean, that's weird.
It is. Like, I've never seen a...
It's like the clove we planted just kept growing.
Yeah.
And got big.
This looks like it's got like 3 big giant ones in it.
I wonder if we accidentally mixed in some elephant garlic.
Maybe.
Although, we've grown elephant garlic and it doesn't look like that.
I have no idea.
And
then these are ones that have damage on them.
Like bug damage.
Yeah, so we'll take these inside. These will be our use first pile. We'll go through these, take out the bug damage, and
it basically means breaking them down into individual cloves.
And if they're still good, like this, it's fine. It's actually 3. I was gonna look for a big one. There you go. That's still fine. So we'll set this aside, probably in a cool, dark corner of the kitchen. And if this is still good by this fall,
yeah, we could plant it.
And same for these. Like, we could pull these apart and plant these big ones. So yeah, there you go.
Cool. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
All right. Now that we have this clear,
now
we get to
harvest our onions.
Yep. All right. Let's take this up, weigh this, and then see how much daylight we have left. I think we're good to harvest onions.
Okay, cool. Okay. Almost 6 pounds.
Almost 6 pounds of garlic.
And then, so it's 5, 11, we'll say 5.5. And another 1.5 pounds. So 7-ish pounds, or a little over 7.
That was a 16-foot bed, and it was white full, like we packed it really tight. That's pretty cool.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Next, I want to do a 100-foot row and see how much that gets us.
I feel long.
All right, let's go do onions.
Yeah.
Since this one didn't have manure in it the other day, we will use this one. So, as you can see, our onions are finally ready. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm at like a 9 happy with how these turned out.
Yes.
We started these from seed. We've told the story, it feels like a million times.
Yeah.
This is the onions that went to seed when Buggy was born.
Yes.
We ended up getting all the seed, we saved it, we planted it this spring, actually this winter. We started in January.
Trays.
Very low expectations. It was like, this is probably all gonna freeze.
We're just gonna try it.
But we stuck it out here in this bed and we made it to harvest time, guys. Some of these are really good sized onions. We've never grown onions that have done this good.
No, I mean, these are amazing. So the tops are starting to brown and kind of
fall over,
so.
We could probably go a little bit longer, but
we probably could. And we could like break the tops and keep them going, but
we're just gonna pull them now.
Yeah.
We got a minute and got a space for them.
Yep. Oh, these are coming up quite easy.
It really surprises me how they grew. Like they pushed themselves out.
I think that's how they normally grow.
And these are beautiful.
They are.
Like these are actual eating size. Well, maybe not these two.
Well, but
those wanted to be garlic.
Those would be stewing onions.
Good job on the spacing.
Thank you.
All right, so there's our load, an entire wagon load, entire hank load. Now we get to go see if we got room. I might end up having to scrounge up some lumber so I can
make another row.
Make another couple rows, which that's fine. It worked great for drying the garlic.
Yeah.
Haul this down and hopefully we don't fall off the ramp with this thing and spill onions everywhere. Yep, pretty much. Millie, you're gonna have to move, sister. I do have to say, this looks really cool.
It does.
Like, really, really cool.
Quite impressive. Not bad for 4x12.
Yeah, that was a 12-foot bed, 4x12. You know what else is kind of cool?
Huh.
The fact that we're using our barn for farm-related stuff instead of
random stuff.
like
Workshop.
a playroom.
Awesome.
I'm very happy.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get the fan back on these, and it smells like onion so strong in here.
It smells good.
It almost burns the nostrils. Ain't paying no bills. All right, so since we are done with that, and the baby's in bed, and the sun is still shining, we're gonna pick some stuff. Well, yeah, wander around and basically deal with the stuff that needs to be dealt with, like cucumbers, because cucumbers are almost as bad as zucchini. What'd you find?
Find a good one?
Oh wow! See, turn your back on them. Turn your back on them.
Oh my goodness.
There's another one. Did you see the one right on top?
Oh, and that one. Oh my goodness. These are worse than zucchini.
So something I'm noticing just right here, this one, the cucumber ailment, that's from cucumber bugs. They've got this plant sick, and this is what happens. The fruit starts doing that. If it does manage to grow, then it's horribly deformed. Whereas this one is all intergrown with a loofah, and loofah is a stanky plant. Like, it just stinks.
Oh, look at that one.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them. It's like the plant just, it almost smells like a stink bug, sort of. I can't place what it smells like. But back to my point, I think growing with the loofah is actually protecting that one from the bugs, because that one is, it's not showing any sign of ailment. So it's just a theory. If we can actually get this cucumber to make it up over the trellis before it dies, this is about as far as we go. Yep. They get up about head level, and then cucumber bugs annihilate them. Something else I've noticed too is you're supposed to plant certain things with dill, because squash bugs, cucumber bugs hate dill. Here's one that's planted with dill. Rather, I think the dill fell over and is now growing in this one.
Are these cucumbers?
Yeah, these are cucumbers.
These are huge.
This is a different variety. I'm not sure which variety it is, but notice we planted this one and that one. That one is done for. Like, it's pretty much just gone. But this one that has the dill, I don't know. I've heard there are certain companion plantings that you do for natural pest control. Seeing cucumbers grown with loofah, that one's doing great. Cucumber grown with dill, that one's doing great. All the ones that don't have buddy system are not doing so good. Any black ones yet?
Not yet, but yeah. I mean they're not black.
Oh, there's one. So that is a black dragon chili. These things, you won't see me eating these
just off the plant
out here in the garden. And I probably shouldn't even touch them. They're so hot, they're kind of a novelty. Like, that's really why I grew them. They're a novelty.
It's for fun.
If you need to spice up something beyond all reason, add a couple of those.
Ah, Japanese beetles eating my basil.
Can't have nothing nice. Luckily, the basil recovers quickly. So we actually ended up, this basil we'd planted up there in the no-dig bed. It was doing so poorly, I dug them up and I put them in here, and they are recovering quite nicely.
Yeah, they're doing a lot better.
They'd been in the ground for a month and they hadn't grown maybe an inch. Stuck them down here, and they're pushing out all sorts of new growth.
Yeah, they're doing a lot better.
To all of the flower people who know flowers, these were a volunteer that came up in, various other places. I don't remember planting them, but I recognized that this wasn't just some weed when it was, 2 leaves and about yay tall. So I dug them up and moved them, and they're coming up like this. Is that a daisy of some kind?
I'm pretty sure it's a black-eyed Susan.
Black-eyed Susan?
I think so.
Let us know in the comments. I know somebody's gonna know.
Yep.
I see tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Just don't step on any watermelons.
Slowly as they're coming on.
What'd you find?
What I see?
What do you see?
What I see?
Red tomatoes. First red tomato. There's one right behind you.
Oh.
Ooh, that one's like really ripe.
That's really ripe. Oh, you know what this means.
Sauce time.
No.
Oh, tomato pie. So I'm seeing some of these off the plants on the end over there are getting some blossom end rot. That means we need calcium and magnesium, which I have CalMag. It's not a fertilizer, it's just a liquid supplement. It's you can buy it at Lowe's. It's just called CalMag. It literally takes like, I don't know, a teaspoon in a gallon of water, maybe even less. It's not very much. So I'm gonna come through and spray this. I'll do it tomorrow. Foliar, you know, put it on the leaves with a little pump sprayer, and we'll see if one application is enough to get it. It fixes the blossom end rot. So if you're having blossom end rot,
fix the ones that already have it.
yeah,
like
if they're already rotten,
too late.
But it'll stop the next ones from getting it.
Right.
Hey, we're starting to get different colors in our baskets.
Oh, I love it.
We can make tomato pie.
I know,
See?
right?
Uh-huh, tomato pie. All right, so one thing that I would like to just talk about briefly is just this, what we've harvested tonight. It might not look like a lot to some, it might look like a ton to others.
Yeah.
One of the things that is really important is if you are growing your own food, you kind of have to know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I guess. So kind of the way I look at it is we cook from scratch a lot. You know, there's pasta and stuff like that.
Some pre-made items, yeah.
Pre-made items, but generally everything is from scratch, all the way down to like our sauces. And I'm not bragging, I'm just saying
that's like, where we've gotten.
This is where we've gotten.
Yeah.
We've been so unhappy with stuff you can buy just not being good anymore. And, you know, what's in it.
Yep.
There's all sorts of garbage that is in our commercially produced food that we don't want to partake of. We don't want in our bodies. So the only option is to grow it yourself or find a farmer. Make friends with your local farmer. So back to, this might not look like much right now, but there's going to be a harvest tomorrow, and there's going to be a harvest the day after. And while we are in these hot days of summer, there will be harvest all the way up until the end of summer.
Yeah.
So what do you do with all this stuff? We know we're going to make tomato pie, but you can't eat tomato pie every day.
Well, I don't know about you. I mean, I could.
Some of us can't. I'm just in general.
Right.
You can't eat the same dish over and over and over again. So what do? Well, learn to cook the things that you want to eat.
Yeah.
And then learn how to make the ingredients. It sounds like a bunch of work, but
it hasn't really been any more work than just normal cooking in general.
Yeah.
I have to take a few more hours because now I'm putting up tomato sauce as well as, you know,
Whatever
making
else.
spaghetti for dinner.
Well, one of the things, we make our own barbecue sauce if we're so inclined. Having what? Tomato paste?
Tomato paste.
Having tomato paste
sauce,
in the pantry is really a must if you're making
Right.
from scratch barbecue sauce. Just
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, it's gotten to the point where we've explored our options of making our own food to the point where we're even making condiments.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing to think you can actually replace those grocery store items out of your garden.
And that's what we've done slowly over the years. This has not been an overnight thing. This has been like a 12-year journey for me of going, okay, this is what I'm buying from the store. Can I make this at home? Can I make it cheaper? Can I make it better? A lot of times it's better, maybe not cheaper, but definitely better.
Yeah.
And so I just run with it, and I've slowly replaced
Item
this
by
thing
item.
and this thing and this thing, you know.
You made hot sauce last year, and we are all the way around. I'm almost out of what she canned, but that's all I've eaten all year is the hot sauce that she canned. And it was literally probably a couple weeks ago, I grabbed, you know, there's like 3 cans left, and I grabbed one. It was like, oh my gosh, I haven't touched the Tabasco or the Cholula, like none of these hot sauces that have been my old standby. I'm eating the homemade stuff.
Yeah.
And
and you love it.
I love it. It hadn't even dawned on me.
And that feels good for me because it's like, hey, I did that. I replaced this thing from the grocery store that you like.
Yep.
And you've eaten it.
It sounds like a bunch of work, but honestly, if you think about it, it's kind of cool.
It is.
All that to say, if you're gonna grow a garden and you're just sticking some green beans in the ground and you don't even like green beans,
you just wasted space.
You just wasted space. Grow what you know you're going to eat. We love green beans. We use onions with every meal, just about.
Yeah.
We use garlic in everything. I mean, everything in here is stuff that we want to eat.
Right.
And we've only got there by eating and like finding out what we like. Back in the good old days of eating through a drive-thru, it's kind of hard to tell what you like.
Because it all tastes the same.
Because it all tastes the same, and you don't even know what's in it.
Yeah.
So I guess if we can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Like,
And just take it one thing at a time.
Yep. Grow garden.
Yep. And learn to cook.
Grow garden and learn to cook.
Yep.
There's the moral to the story. Take that
I'm
inside and add it to our quickly growing collection of vegetables.
gonna have to start preserving here soon.
Basically, like with the green beans, once you get a whole canner full worth of
Yes.
beans, you'll run that.
And I'll do a canner load.
Yep.
And again, little bits at a time.
Little bits at a time
It doesn't have to be a week
of canning at a time.
It's like, hey, I've got enough for a canner load, and this is what we're doing today. And there you go.
Now, I will say, if we grow the amount of green beans that I think we need to, like a couple 100-foot rows,
Well, we did just put in a whole nother bed of bush beans.
That's
so
it could get to the point where it's like, oh, yeah, we just picked 5 bushels of green beans in a day, and there's more coming tomorrow. So
Right. Then, I mean, there is a period of time in the summer where it's like, oh, we are doing this all week until it's done. But it starts with little bits, and it doesn't take much before you have a whole pantry full of canned goods.
Yep. All right, we're gonna leave it there. We will catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.